Hello. In this tutorial series, I'll be going over how to use Scroll Cinema, a new visual editor for creating scroll-driven animations, scrolling movies, if you will, which I like to call scrollies. This video in particular will just give a high-level overview of Scroll Cinema, as well as AltSalt, which is where Scroll Cinema lives, and how you can sign up for an AltSalt account so you can access the software. So without further ado, let's dive in. So as you can see here, I am scrubbing through the timeline right now, and we have various different kinds of assets on the timeline, including keyframes, which have different kinds of values associated with them that can be manipulated, as well as clips. And we can see all this content in real time in the preview window here. So these things are very similar to regular animation software, these clips and keyframes. We also have a few things that are particular to scroll-driven animations in Scroll Cinema, including these things called autoplay indicators or autoplay markers that are used to signify when sequences should auto-run by themselves. We also have, if we go over to the other sequence here, the ability to configure swiping or scrolling on the Y as well as the X-axis. And we can even configure going in the negative X or negative Y axis as well. And these projects can get pretty in-depth with a lot of different animations. Here I'm opening up some folders. So the interface scales pretty well to large experiences of up to several minutes in length at the moment, with more robust workflows coming in the future as well. Up here, we have various different kinds of content nodes that can be placed, including text, images, shapes, and groups to organize everything into coherent folders and whatnot, as well as manipulate things in groups at once. We also have the ability to import images and font files as well as audio assets. And we can manipulate all of these things using the various inspectors here. So that is a brief overview of that. I will go into more detail on the interface and how to use it in the future videos in this series. Let me talk really quickly about some other kinds of content that you can make in Scroll Cinema. So we were just taking a look at a multimedia webcomic. You can also use the shape tool to create different kinds of experiences like this one. So the point being that it is a flexible tool that you can do many things with. It is really just limited by your imagination. And I'll also show, for anyone who hasn't seen in action, how one of these pieces actually looks. So importantly is that scrollies are also interactive. So here we have some buttons that allow you to play some sounds and such. There's more interactivity coming in the future as well. We have more robust features in development. For now, we can orchestrate relationships between sequences and also do minor interactivity like buttons and other things like that. And once you get into the main parts of a story or whatever is configured to be a swipe sequence or scroll sequence, I am scrolling on my trackpad right now on my computer, but you can also scroll with the mouse, and this is optimized for mobile devices in particular, so of course all this works on swipe as well. Okay, so that is a little bit about Scroll Cinema at a high level. So Scroll Cinema currently lives on AltSalt. AltSalt is a community website focused on high-fidelity publishing formats. So I realized that there was a lack of a space for this kind of content, including zines and electronic literature, story-driven games, comics as well. Sure, you can publish these things in different places, but there's no real community website or space that sort of cultivates a connection between folks creating in these kinds of content and these different modes. And I think that there's a lot of potential in terms of supporting those kinds of content in interesting ways. So that being said, a lot of that is still under development. So the vision is to reinvent digital publishing, and you can read more about that in the About section if you're interested. And one of the things that I'm offering up on AltSalt is Scroll Cinema. Myself, I am Artemio, and I have been creating electronic literature for many years at this point. Scroll Cinema was actually originally created to facilitate the creation of experiences like A Modern Ghost, and I had it as an internal studio tool for a few years, in particular in the Unity game engine, that I was unable to redistribute due to dependence on third-party packages and other reasons. In particular, the interface not living up to my standards in terms of what could be released as a public tool. So after all of that time, I'm happy to finally be able to make Scroll Cinema available and share some of my passion for electronic literature and scrolling animations with all of you. So yeah, with that being said, I'll show you now how to sign up for an AltSalt account so you can access Scroll Cinema. I will move my talking head out of the way here, and I will open up the AltSalt site where you can see this register link in the top right. So if you click on register, that will bring you to this form where you'll be asked to enter an invitation code. If you don't have one, you can just click here to apply for an account. And this is a very light approval process just to filter out any bots. And as we are in early stages, it's also nice to have a small personal connection with folks who come on board, so I can help you with any questions you might have regarding the platform or AltSalt. So yeah, if you just fill this out, I will get back to you right away so you can sign up for AltSalt and so you can access Scroll Cinema. And once you do get your sign-up code and or link, you can go to the AltSalt dashboard. There are various different content types here. The one we're most interested in is Scroll Cinema. You'll see some options here on the left, but if you just click Add New Scrolly, that'll bring you right to the interface. So that is how you access Scroll Cinema, and that'll actually be it for this video. In the next one, I will go into more detail on all the different options and the actual interface of Scroll Cinema and show you how you can begin placing content. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one.